Welcome to Thunder Insider.
Hello and welcome inside our Oklahoman studio for another edition of Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health. I'm Kelly Kroll, your host. Alongside me in studio today, 15-year NBA veteran Grant Long and his broadcast partner Brian Davis. Guys, we spent a lot of time around this Thunder team, and it seems like right now these guys really locking in, starting to focus and getting ready to grind out these last few weeks.
Well, with just under or 15 or so games to go in the season, I'm excited because so many teams at this point are playing out the string with their destination already realized. Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's not the case. They have a lot to play for, still an opportunity to maybe move up or in the standings. So they have something to play for here at the end of the season.
And over the last several weeks, we have seen the emergence of two distinct and dangerous playing groups, the starters and the reserves. And now you've given the opponent something to account for literally every minute of every game, and that is only going to help this team. First time we've seen that since our move to the Southern Plains.
And certainly still trying to work to integrate, guys. It was legendary NBA coach Pat Riley who once said, "A champion needs motivation above and beyond winning." That concept, of course, echoes true through the Thunder as the reconstructed team now works to build their chemistry and strengthen their game as they make this push towards postseason.
When you get on the court with the guys, you feel like you're part of it. So now I feel like I'm part of the system. I mean, I've been through the battle, a few games with the guys, so I'm kind of figuring out what guy like to do what on the court and what's his strongest point, what's his weakest point. So, you know, it's different when you get on the court with guys. I think your chemistry becomes a little stronger, the bond becomes a little stronger, and you begin to come a little closer.
A rainbow 21-footer, no good. Perkins has his 10th rebound.
In the NBA, I think in order to have a great defensive team, both of your big men have to be able to guard the paint and guard pick and rolls. And, you know, Serge is the forward man who runs the floor like a point guard, who jumps like a two guard, and, you know, he plays strong. And I love the way he plays. I love the way he comes mentally prepared every day, and he's focused and locked in on the defensive end. And he can score the ball a little bit, too. He's getting better and better each day, and he works hard.
7 to shoot. Fires a 20-footer for the tie. Got it! Kevin Durant. It's not how many, but when.
These guys are very talented. I'm just trying to get them to stay locked in, stay focused, stay humble, keep working, and I think we do that and stick together. I think the sky's the limit. I'm trying to get guys to, you know, feel like it's all about the team all the time. You know, we get to that point, you know, everything's gonna happen. So I just feel like, you know, I want the guys to have a lot of confidence, and I want them to think that I want them to know that they're good and that they're one of the best teams in the NBA, and I want them to carry that on and off the court every game.
Such a smart guy and really just a player you can tell gets the game of basketball. But how important is it for a guy and a leader like Kendrick Perkins will be for this team, for him to understand that team-first mentality?
Well, think about his resume. As young as he is, he's been to the finals twice, won the championship once. So when you have a guy on your team like that, and he's been where you're trying to get to, why wouldn't you listen to that good advice that he's trying to pour out there to these young players?
I think his very presence has allowed this team to show individually some versatility. James Harden has become much more aggressive at both ends of the floor. I think of things like Thabo Sefolosha, not getting a lot of shots, but a higher percentage shots, just his very presence. And let's not forget Mohammed and what Ibaka brings to the table as well. Spreading the floor now and creating opportunities and different sorts of opportunities for guys up and down the roster.
And you think about what they're doing in the starting lineup, Thabo Sefolosha, we already know about how well he plays defense, but when you add Kendrick Perkins to the mix, now you've got inside and outside defense covered.
He's not a guy who's afraid to let his teammates know what they could do better, but at the same time, the first one to give it up to him when they do it right. And it's that gruff demeanor that hardly goes unnoticed, but beyond the toughness is an earned confidence combined with a leader's mentality and some gamesmanship.
He gets in everybody's head, and you know, being on this team, you're kind of happy he's on yours because, you know, he's gonna get into those guys' head. And he's just a feisty player. He's really, you know, ultimate team player. All about trying to win and trying to help us win. No hidden agendas for him, and that's helping us out.
Very true. And with that style of play, can a player like that impact the opponent the way he just really, I mean, he's up in your face and that's how he's going to play?
Well, I think that has something to do with it, but I think going into the ball game, his reputation precedes him. Coaches will tell you, don't let this guy get in your head. And by the coach telling you that, he's already in your head. So when you get there and you have to prepare for that mental challenge that Kendrick presents to the game, he's already in your head, and that's a big advantage to the Thunder.
He gets into opponents' head, guys, but he also gets into his own teammates' heads. I mean, Kendrick Perkins is all about accountability, and we have seen that. And it's not only what he says and the way that he encourages his teammates to communicate better, but the fact that he's willing to get on the floor and lead by example. That's a classic example of what Perkins brings here.
Well, you have to know where you're comfortable on the floor, and Kendrick Perkins, pardon the obvious, he gets on the floor for the basketball. He gets dirty. He understands that's where he can have an impact on this team.
Yeah, telling Harden where to go for the tip, for instance, telling the coaching staff, no, I got it. And then the other thing, let's not forget, this guy is averaging 8 rebounds a game since he joined the starting lineup.
Yeah, he has this demeanor and he gets in there. I've heard him in the huddles. I mean, he lets those guys have it, but he's also just the first one to take it out on himself as well. He wants to play better. The coach is learning from him. The players learning from him. They're all kind of working together, starting to get that way.
You know, one of the things here is Perkins is what this team has needed now for a little while, and that is a vocal, capable leader who is in the starting lineup. That is really key.
Simply put, his mentality is, if you're not with us, then you're against us. and I like that mentality.
Not the only one that likes that, no question. Well, now with where these guys are in the season, they're a few games ahead, above pace from where they were during this time last season. How does that bode toward these last couple games that they have in front of them?
I don't know, Grant. I think in some ways it takes the pressure off. Now you can just sort of polish your act a little bit as you get down the stretch of the regular season.
Well, I'm going to go a different angle. Because you have new guys on the ball club, it gives you a chance, because you are in a comfortable position, to get these guys acclimated to a system, ramping up and getting into the postseason.
Appreciate it. Well, plenty more to come on Thunder Insider. Stick with us.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Eric manages the game through his crafty play.
Shot clock getting late here. Maynard. Nifty move to score.
And later.
We're going to take a look back at the Thunder fans' favorite moments of the season.
Oh, man, that's probably got to be Westbrook's windmill slam.
Welcome back to Thunder Insider.
10 on the shot clock. He angles left on the dribble, down the lane and deep. His left-hand scoop rejected by Ibaka. That is block number 4. Westbrook the loose ball. Long lead toward a 70-foot alley-oop. Oh, my! Oh, my! Don't be so mean!
Every night, doing something that just has us all dropping our jaws, no question.
Well, the pass was spectacular. Off of the dunk, it absolutely electrified the crowd. One of those moments.
Well, I like the way these guys are hooking up. There's a rapport that everybody has on the ball club now, and I think Russell is the head of all of that, finding and knowing where everybody wants the basketball.
Well, joining us now, the radio voice of Thunder basketball, Matt Pinto. Good to have you along. And you know, in only his second season in the league, Eric Maynard arguably has one of the toughest jobs in the NBA. As a point guard, you're always looking to make something happen. But as a backup, you're not only in charge of coming off the bench cold and maintaining the game's flow, but oftentimes you're asked to provide a spark to the team.
Eric manages the game through his crafty play.
Shot clock getting late here. Maynard. Nifty move to score.
He does a great job for us backing up Russell. That's not an easy position. I've been in that was in that spot for 11 years. There's pressure on you because you don't want to turn the ball over. You want to make a good play every time down court.
Maynard working with Collison on the pick and roll, but he's got another option from the backside.
I like to change up the pace. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow.
When Eric's out there, he's the guy that's going to come out there and really just control the whole tempo, slow it down just a little bit. You know, I think that's what makes it so good. We have 2 different point guards that play 2 different styles.
Maynard stutter stepping on the dribble. Slashes left in the lane, floats a runner up and in.
He understands the angles, but his pick and roll basketball game has really improved, but he finds open shots.
Kicks out to Cook, open, angle right, 3 for the lead. Cha-ching, the Thunder money ball.
DC and James get a lot of looks because of his penetration and kickouts.
Well, head coach often talks about spacing for a team on the offensive end of the floor. To me, the pacing that Eric Maynor brings is different than Russell Westbrook, as Kevin Durant said, and it makes a big difference for the opposing defenses. They've got to deal with an entirely different system and style with Maynor on the floor. And Grant, I look at his play as exemplary in terms of stability. He's played all 70 games so far this season. In 31 of those games, he's not turned the ball over a single time. That's pretty remarkable.
Well, I think it's critical for any good point guard to understand if you can get the ball to that painted area, you draw the defense, and then you're able to find open shooters on the perimeter. And Eric Maynor understands that probably better than anybody that I know. He gets the ball into that lane area, and key is that he keeps his dribble alive until he finds somebody that's open. And that's what you like about him, that poise when he gets into that painted area. Amongst the big guys, he can still make a good pass.
I'm glad you bring that up because that was the one thing I asked him, and he says that basically it's just instinct. It's something from having done it and to continue doing it, and then now he just kind of feels it out. Well, guys, time now to go around the league. This season will mark the Mavs' 11th straight year with 50 wins, and yet not really the postseason success that they've hoped to have.
Well, since the 06 NBA Finals when they were up 2-0 and led by double digits going into the fourth quarter in Miami, it's crumbled for them in playoff basketball. They had 67 wins years after that and were upset by an 8-seed Golden State. They have a veteran squad, Grant, and they've had tremendous extended regular season success. How much pressure's on them, though, in this postseason?
I think there's a lot of pressure because their window of opportunity obviously is closing. And I also think that, with all the evidence that we have, obviously the 50-win number doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go far into the playoffs, as the Mavs have proved. You have to have a rhythm going into the playoffs. You have to have a different game plan going into the playoffs because you're playing in a series. And most of the time, good defensive teams will take away your first, sometimes even second option, and you've got to be able to get to those options and impose your will on your opponent.
And I think their issue, guys, is that they don't create easy shots often enough in the playoffs. And when you've got to grind out every set against a team that's set and has scouted you, it becomes difficult. And I wonder if they'll be able to generate that again if they face a quality athletic team in the early rounds of the playoffs.
Okay, and it looks almost inevitable at this point that the Sacramento Kings will be moving to Anaheim. What do you think about that? I mean, is this a good thing to have 3 teams in the LA area, basically?
As a visiting broadcaster, it's a better destination. Aside from that, no, it's not. I don't think it's good for the league at all. Sacramento's been a great supportive city to that franchise, Grant, and it's sad to see what's beginning to evolve and unfold, and it's about the arena. The arena is outdated, and Anaheim is set with an arena that's NBA ready.
You know what? I totally agree with you. I remember during my play day that the Sacramento Kings home building was a very tough place to play. Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, those guys making the playoffs just about every year became a very tough building to play in. So it's sad to see that team go and move somewhere else, especially the California area where it's saturated with basketball teams and professional sports anyway.
It's hard to imagine the Cowbells traveling to Anaheim as well. They fit Sacramento. I'm not sure it's going to work in SoCal.
And what do we think about that name, the Anaheim Royals of Southern California?
I don't know. It's something that's going to have to grow on me, I suppose. But as with all things, through time, we make adjustments.
And we will be seeing LA more often.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
They give us so much, so just a small little something back to them means a really lot.
Just try to do my best to help out. Try not to mess the house up.
Welcome back to Thunder Insider.
For the 3rd year in a row, the Thunder teamed up with OKC's Rebuilding Together program to help a needy family fix up and repair parts of their home. Earlier this week, the entire team came together and went to work on Miss Annabelle Higgins' home.
I want to introduce you guys to the Higgins family. This is Miss Annabelle Higgins. This is the house that she lives here, owner of the home.
This is the 3rd year that we've done this project, and each one of them is more meaningful for us because we're able to see the impact that we've had.
It feels really good when you can come out here and you can really help the community out. They give us so much, so just a small little something back to them means a really lot.
But it's cool though, it's fun. It's fun for them, fun for the family. I know they're really thankful for it.
You can just tell she's so, she appreciates what we're doing. Met her grandkids, and that's what it's all about. We have an opportunity to give back, and we have an opportunity to help out, and you can tell that she feels blessed, and she's a sweet lady that needs help, and we're willing to give her help, and it makes us all feel good.
So I appreciate them. I really, really do, and I appreciate Rebuilding Together. That's where it got started, through Rebuilding Together.
Miss Higgins, helping her get her house together, you know. It's always good to come out and do good community service, so, you know, try to help somebody else out.
It's definitely great, you know, just to give back to the less fortunate, you know, rebuilding a house. It's definitely great, you know, guys are having a good time, you know, repainting, moving stuff, doing the lawn, you know, it's a good feeling.
You know, we're fortunate to be able to play in a city where we get so much support. So when we have the opportunity to get out and help some of the members of the community, it's a good feeling for us. We feel responsible to help in the community, and we're fortunate to be able to do it.
It's good to see, you know, these people with smiles on their faces. It's a blessing. So just try to do my best to help out. Try not to mess the house up.
This is great, man. You know, coming out here and helping this family out with their needs, and just, you know, volunteering our time and having fun with it.
Not only was it an opportunity for the guys to get out in the community and help a family, but it was also a chance for them to come together and bond as a team off the court.
I think anytime you can come out here and interact with the guys or do anything that's team related, I think it develops a nice bond, a nice chemistry, so it's good.
It's bringing us closer as a team together.
We got really good guys on this team, and guys look forward to doing something like this, so we usually have a good time doing it.
You can almost call it a team building type thing, just getting together, doing something like this with one another. And
that's like the ultimate goal for us, you know, to make people feel better about their home, about themselves.
Being able to help and making a difference for that family, you know, they really deserve it, and all of us are happy to come here tonight.
It's just wonderful. It really is. Their heart's in the right place.
Not every day you get to see those guys paint and garden, but a very unique and cool event. Well, also this past week, the Thunder hosted its second annual Youth Spring Break basketball camp. Over 100 campers ages 5 to 16 spent a week working on their dribbling skills, shooting techniques, and defensive drills, all the while getting a special visit from Thunder center Nazi Muhammad.
We're here at the Thunder Youth Basketball Spring Break Camp here at Santa Fe Family Life Center.
Somebody gonna score on me today? Great getting out here, you know, just interacting with the kids. They love it, I love it, so it was a lot of fun. This time you got me, I'm ready for you.
Nazi came out here today, we had an absolute blast. He was able to get around to each station with the kids and really work with them, specifically on defensive drills and things like rebounding.
Come on, set a good screen. Set a good screen, let's go, let's go. Oh, good job. Today we just worked on different aspects of the game, got a chance to work on a little defense, work on shooting, work on scoring on the defender. Oh, I got this one, give me that. You better take it strong next time. Come on, I'm gonna let you dunk. Oh! This is when you want the game to be fun to them. Because right now, this is when they build all the skills that they want to continue playing. You know, going to help them in the future. And it also is just great, just that team chemistry and just, you know, just kind of working with one another and things like that. Woo, good shot.
It's extremely exciting for the kids to be able to meet somebody like Nazi.
I'm gonna take, oh, good screen.
It's not every day that you get to come out and meet an NBA player and be around somebody such as Nazi.
Great job, great job. Good screen, good roll. 1, 2, 3. Thunder! Good job, y'all.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Okay, what's your favorite memory of the entire season?
I think my favorite memory was watching the halftime show where both people made the $20,000 shots.
Welcome back to Thunder Insider.
So far this season, we've had some exciting times and great moments to remember. And in this week's Stealin' the Mic, Steely finds out what fans have enjoyed most about this Thunder season.
All right, we're headed down the stretch to the end of the season. 82 games can be a long NBA regular season, but we thought, you know what, that means a lot of great memories. We thought we'd go out and ask some of the Thunder fans their favorite memories of this season.
Well, I think not one particular play, but a game in particular is the Thunder being able to go into Miami and shut down what everybody calls the Big Three.
For three, Harden from Durant, got it! The
Thunder tonight on fire.
But we got the big three of our own, and Kevin Durant and Westbrook especially.
Great hustle by the Thunder.
Favorite moment of the year for the Thunder would be what?
Spring break for the boys and getting to see Nazi
Oh, she's ready.
come and talk to the boys and shoot the ball.
Probably Durant's shot against the Knicks.
Stutter steps, drives right wing, fades and fires. The shot on mark. Got it at the buzzer. And a win. 101-98.
Oh, it was just intense to see him make that the last second.
All right, standout memories for you.
Oh, man, that's probably got to be Westbrook's windmill slam. Crowd-wowing, jaw-dropping slam dunk.
Oh, man, Westbrook was on a breakaway as usual. He's got the speed, the athleticism. He rises above the air like I've never seen. Windmill slam, brings the crowd to its feet. That was wicked sweet.
Can't go wrong with the Thunder Dogs, baby. Scrumptious.
Okay, what's your favorite memory of the entire season?
I think my favorite memory was watching the halftime show where both people made the $20,000 shots. So that was a pretty cool thing to be able to watch, yeah.
Hey, Steely, what about your favorite memory of the year? Well, I would have to say it was the exhibition I put on with the slam dunk team, showing off my vertical skills and leaping ability.
I hit the rim.
Not.
The fans doing a really good job. Some great memories. What about you? Do you have a favorite moment so far in the Thunder season?
I've got a basket full of them, but I'll give you one. The team goes up to the Boston Celtics arena, win that game for the second time at that point during the season. The Celtics lose a game, and we were shorthanded on that ball game too, and I think guys played well. It was a very good win and a very good confidence-boosting win for the ball club.
I like that one. I'll steal that one from you. I agree. What you said, what all the fans said, it's been a great season. Well, thanks again for joining us here at our Oklahoman studio for another edition of Thunder Insider. We'll see you again next week with more on Thunder basketball.